up, everyone? Welcome back to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. We are excited to be coming back with the book club on the Burn Boot Camp book. So I'm joined here, as always, by DJ and Ansley, and we are going to talk about chapter 4 today, which is Achieve. So this is one of the 5 steps of the strategy for inner and outer strength. And so Achieve is really all about goal setting. Okay, so we talk a lot about setting goals, achieving success in various areas of your life, not just fitness, because we are a fitness franchise. And it's talking about your mind, your body, your spirit, right? It's how do you have those different buckets of your life? And so we talk a little bit about push and pull goals here in this chapter, and what is truly your North Star, because your North Star is something that's going to help you make decisions, say yes to things, say no to things. And it's really how you walk and talk, the way I see it. So ladies, how did you like this chapter? Did it bring up some good feelings, some not so good feelings, or did it maybe put a little fire under your butt to set some more goals?
Yeah, it definitely did for me. It was one of those things that's always been tricky. I felt like I had to set one singular goal, but realizing that I can set a couple of different goals for a couple of different facets in life, you know, for finances and for fitness and for family too, but really having that overarching singular goal, that North Star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about you, Anne?
And for me, it brought up some interesting feelings for me. That setting that North Star goal, I realized that I'm intimidated by. It makes me really nervous. I really want to be successful, and I have a lot of emotion attached to goals sometimes. And setting these, big goals in life is intimidating, and it's something that I need to work on and really kind of dive into this chapter even further to get some strategies to really step into that space and do what I need to do,
Yeah. I think that brings up a really good point. And, I think sometimes life, either what has happened to you or what has happened to you right now, is kind of what that extra push is to set some goals. And so, if there's not a lot of unnormal things happening in your life, you're kind of you're cruising, right? You're moving through life. Yeah. And I do think that's where I catch myself sometimes. But, we talk about there's those pull goals and there's push goals. And so pull goals can be, what's some pain that you're running away from, whether that's your childhood or something tragic that happened to you, or a diagnosis, or, a breakup, something like that. Whereas then push is, what are you running towards, right? What's that good feeling that you're chasing that maybe you've never experienced before? And so I want to talk a little bit about Cynthia, because Cynthia is in chapter 4, and she comes from one of our locations, Fayetteville, Georgia. And the summary of her story is cancer, COVID-19, and a broken marriage. And those are 3 very, very hard things. And so this is such an incredible story. Cynthia, thank you for sharing with us and allowing us to put this in the book. But Cynthia says, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My world shattered. I went from biopsy to surgery to chemo very quickly, she recalled. The chemo crushed my body for 2 months. She was nauseous, she was tired all the time, and she lost all of her strength. During that time, Cynthia also was separated from her husband. So medical bills piled up, and physically, mentally, and emotionally, she felt that she was in an unyielding storm. But unbelievably, she kept her focus on fitness, right? And so her goal was a little bit of both, right? It's pull, like, what do I not want to go back to? And the feeling of losing your strength and that just kind of undefeating, and like she's put an unyielding storm, to she focused on fitness, and she came to Burn Boot Camp, and she focused on going 6 days a week and getting her strength back to pre-2020 was her goal. So that's what pushed her forward. And that was kind of her North Star in this specific story. So I just think that's an incredible testament to, no matter what's going on in your life, like setting goals and seeing yourself achieve them is very, very important.
Yeah, that story was just so impactful. I mean, it was something to read. I had to stop a couple times during that story reading it.
Oh yeah, all of these
now
stories.
I'm like goosebumps. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I can only imagine the community that rallied around her moving, it said she moved to a new city. And so just feeling defeated, not only by the circumstances that are happening and feeling probably very uncertain of what's going on, just to know that that community was there, and then to be able to fall back on that goal of, I'm going to get my strength back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, I think for me, I've mentioned this a little bit earlier, but goals can be challenging because they can be, you're afraid to fail. You're afraid to fail yourself. And I think it's taken me a long time to give myself permission to change and update my North Star and my goals, because my priorities have changed so much throughout the years, having kids and just having different perspective on life. And I will say, we sometimes do get stuck on, well, I set that goal and I have to hit it or else I'm a failure. But if something's happened in your life and that's no longer something you're excited about, I do think it's okay to change and tweak your goals. But not setting goals kind of doesn't give you that direction in life. Like I said, how are you saying yes to things? How are you saying no to things? Because if you do have a very clear vision of what you want life to look like and what it's going to take to get there, then it helps you say no to things and yes to things, because you're always going back to, what's that alignment to my goals, to my North Star. And so I think that's what this book, or this chapter specifically, when I reread it, that's what's kind of kicked me in the butt, to say, what am I still doing that's not really in alignment with that North Star that I have to build a legacy, for my children, and how I want them to see me and how I want to look at myself, later on in life. So.
Yeah. I agree. I think that, setting up small goals are confidence builders to get you to that North Star. And, don't be afraid of that North Star. And like you said, it's going to change. Your priorities are going to change because your life changes. But having that, those tiny, steps up that ladder to get where, to have a life that you love. And that's like the overarching theme of this book. It's all these strategies ramp up and build up to living a life that you love. And so why not be brave and set those North Star goals? I think I'm talking to myself right now.
Yeah.
But
you got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And I think the important thing before we wrap up here is to know that the goals belong to you. They don't belong to anybody else. And so it's okay to have different goals than your friends or your coworkers or your husband or whoever that means in your life. It's normal to not have the same goals. Everybody's life is a different, print. So it shouldn't be the same.
Yep.
And that doesn't make them better or worse. And that doesn't, that shouldn't guide you, is basically my point. DJ's going to have completely different goals than I have, but we can cheer each other on and celebrate each other's. And her accomplishing her goals motivates me to keep crushing goals that I have. And same with, you, Ansley.
Absolutely.
It's like, use that as that motivation, and that bring that community together to say, we're different, but we can both celebrate, just accomplishment and achievement.
Yeah, for sure.
Great point.
I love that.
Great point.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, make sure that you pick up your copy today. You can pre-order it. Go to burnbootcamp.com/book. Excuse me. We'll have that link in the show notes, and get your pre-order today. It comes out June 18th. We're so excited for you to read not only Achieve, but all the different strategies for inner and outer strength. So as always, guys, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you later. We're going to end like we always do. 2 claps on 2. 1, 2.